Hearthstone, Whispers of Redemption. Part 1, The Mysterious Bargain. In a kingdom long ago, a king named Cedric and his beloved queen, Eleanor, waited impatiently for a child. Their prayers were answered one fateful day when Eleanor gave birth to a son during the king's absence. To celebrate the king's eventual return, the queen held off the christening and temporarily named their son Whisperwind. As years passed, Whisperwind grew into a lively young boy with a name that intrigued everyone. He often wondered about the uniqueness of his name and the story behind it. One day, while playing by the riverbank, a majestic bird approached him, larger than any he'd seen. It introduced itself as Skylar, the messenger of the skies, and said it had a message for him. Whisperwind, curious, listened intently. Skylar told him about a giant named Garog, who dwelt beyond the mountains and held secrets about Whisperwind's name. Meanwhile, King Cedric embarked on a journey to establish alliances with neighboring kingdoms. On his way back home, he had to cross the tumultuous River Torren. As he pondered how to navigate the treacherous waters, a bridge magically appeared. At the start of the bridge stood Garog, the same giant Skylar mentioned. Garog offered to let the king pass if he gave up a Whisperwind. Unaware of the significance of the name and with an eagerness to return home, the king agreed, thinking it was but a mere riddle. Upon his return, Eleanor greeted Cedric with great joy, introducing him to their son. When she mentioned Whisperwind's name, the color drained from the king's face. He narrated his encounter with Garog, realizing he'd unknowingly promised their son to the giant. Eleanor, trying to think rationally, proposed they trick the giant by offering him another child in Whisperwind's place. The next day, when Garog came to claim his prize, the couple presented him with the son of their chicken keeper, hoping he wouldn't know the difference. However, as Garog returned to his realm with the child, he paused at a mystical stone, which held the power to decipher the truth. He placed the boy on it and asked, "Whisper to me, young one, what is the time of day?" The boy nervously replied, "It's when my mother collects eggs for the queen's breakfast." Realizing the deceit, Garog's anger knew no bounds. In his fury, he smote the boy, ending his life. Eleanor and Cedric's treachery hadn't saved their son, but instead had caused the death of an innocent. The weight of their decisions was beginning to bear on them, and they dreaded Garog's next move. Whisperwind, oblivious to all this, met Skylar again. Skylar hinted that his fate was tied to Garog and that a storm was coming. The words confused the boy, but he felt a connection with the bird and knew he was destined for an extraordinary journey. When Garog returned, demanding the true Whisperwind, the king and queen's desperation led them to send the son of their gardener in their own son's stead. But once again, the stone revealed the truth and another innocent life was taken. Guilt-ridden and unable to bear the consequences of their deceit any longer, Eleanor and Cedric decided to confront Garog, prepared to face their destiny. Part 2, Redemption of a Kingdom. As Eleanor and Cedric made their way to the looming mountain where Garog resided, Skylar met them. The magnificent bird, with shimmering wings that reflected twilight colors, hovered over them. "You march towards a destiny fraught with peril," it warned. "But remember, even in darkness, there is a spark of hope." The journey was arduous. Braving treacherous terrains and battling wild beasts, they felt the weight of their guilt, which seemed even heavier than the physical challenges they faced. Once at the mountain's peak, the entrance to Garog's lair revealed itself. Inside, the cavernous space was filled with the echo of children's laughter and crying. To their horror, they saw not two but scores of children, each one trapped in a crystal cage, their souls the source of Garog's power. The giant appeared, towering over them. "You have come to witness the fruit of your deception," Garog sneered, indicating the caged souls. Eleanor, with tears in her eyes, said, "We have come to right our wrongs. Release these souls, and take what you were promised." Whisperwind, hearing of his parents' journey, had followed them with Skylar's help. The young prince stepped forth just as Garog was about to seize Eleanor and Cedric. "I am Whisperwind," he declared boldly, "and I will make the bargain to set things right." Garog, intrigued, proposed a challenge. "If you can solve my riddle, all souls will be free. But if you fail, every soul in the kingdom, including yours, will be mine." Skylar whispered words of encouragement into Whisperwind's ear, reminding him of his strength and the unique power of his name. Garog spoke, born from the earth, but not of this land, I fly without wings and shimmer like sand. I can whisper old and new secrets, I am tied to your name, a true bond. What am I? Whisperwind thought deeply, the weight of his kingdom's fate resting on his shoulders. The answer came to him in a whisper, as quiet as the wind. A gust of wind, he answered confidently. It carries sand, moves without wings, whispers secrets, and is associated with my name. Garog roared, furious at being outsmarted, but a deal was a deal. With a wave of his hand, the children were released. However, as they began to flee, the ground shook violently. Garog's lair began to crumble, intent on burying them all. Seeing this, Whisperwind remembered Skylar's words about the spark of hope in darkness. Taking a deep breath, he called out to the wind, summoning its power. A great gust rose, carrying everyone out of the collapsing cave and onto the safety of the mountain's peak. The kingdom rejoiced at the return of its children, and Whisperwind became a hero. King Cedric and Queen Eleanor, humbled and remorseful for their deceit, vowed to rule with wisdom and integrity. As for Garog, his lair's destruction weakened him, and he was never seen again. However, whispers spoke of a once mighty giant roaming distant lands in search of redemption. Skylar, the messenger of the skies, continued to watch over the kingdom, ensuring that the tale of Whisperwind would be told for generations to come, a story of bravery, sacrifice, and the power of a name. Part 3: The Return of the Fallen Giant. Years had passed since Whisperwind's confrontation with Garog. The prince had now become a wise king with his own family. The kingdom had seen an era of peace and prosperity, with the tale of Whisperwind and the giant becoming a legend told to every child. One evening, the ground trembled as the sun cast its golden hue over the horizon. From the distant mountains, a figure approached, larger than any man. It was Garog, but he was changed. He no longer towered menacingly, his once mighty form now appeared worn and weary. Whisperwind alerted to the giant's return and ordered the kingdom to be on guard. But, instead of threats, Garog brought a message of truce. I have wandered the realms, he began, seeking to understand the weight of my actions. My quest for power and your parents' deceit both brought pain to many. I wish to make amends. The kingdom was divided. Some remembered the pain Garog had inflicted and called for his banishment. Others, seeing his genuine remorse, argued for forgiveness. Skylar, who had been a guardian of the kingdom, came forth with a revelation. There exists a relic, said the majestic bird, known as the Hearthstone. It has the power to heal past wounds and bind broken souls. If Garog truly seeks redemption, he must embark on a quest to find it. Realizing that this might be his only chance, Garog agreed. Whisperwind, showing a magnanimity that few expected, decided to accompany him, stating, the mistakes of the past were not yours alone. We must find the Hearthstone together. The duo embarked on a journey, facing trials that tested their strength and their very souls. From riddles of ethereal spirits to battles with mythical beasts, each challenge required them to trust and rely on one another. In the treacherous labyrinth of shadows, their bond was solidified. Garog, using his immense strength, shielded Whisperwind from collapsing walls, while Whisperwind, with his knowledge and agility, guided them through the maze, deciphering its secrets. After months of searching, they arrived at the Isle of Echoes, where the Hearthstone was rumored to be. It was a place where the world's memories whispered, echoing tales of love, loss, and redemption. In the heart of the island, guarded by ancient spirits, the Hearthstone shimmered. As they approached, the spirits spoke, only by merging the essence of two souls who have truly sought redemption can the Hearthstone be accessed. Whisperwind and Garog, realizing the depth of their journey and the bond they had formed, stood hand in a giant hand. Their energies intertwined, creating a beacon of light that touched the Hearthstone. The relic pulsed, releasing waves of energy that washed over the land. The kingdom felt the effects instantly. Old grudges melted away, wounds of the past healed, and a sense of unity emerged. Even the souls of the children, who were wronged because of Cedric and Eleanor's deception, were seen dancing in the skies, finally at peace. Returning as heroes, Whisperwind and Garog were met with jubilation. The Heartstone was placed in the kingdom's heart, a reminder of the past and a beacon for the future. Whisperwind, in a grand gesture, offered Garog a place in the kingdom. The humbled giant chose instead to guard the kingdom's borders, ensuring that no harm would ever befall the land. Skylar, having seen the tale end, soared into the skies, leaving behind a legacy of hope, redemption, and the belief that even the mightiest of giants and the most treacherous of pasts could find a place of love and acceptance. And so, in the annals of time, the tale of Whisperwind, the fallen giant, and the Hearthstone became an eternal legend, a testament to the indomitable spirit of forgiveness and the transformative power of redemption. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe for more interesting stories.